Welcome back to this time last year. Today, we're remembering a man whose voice and spirit touched people in ways he probably never realized. Jonathan Joss wasn't just an actor. He was a storyteller, someone who brought depth, humor, and heart to every character he stepped into. Off-screen, he was known for his kindness, the way he lifted others up, the way he carried his culture with pride, and the way he made people feel seen. Today we remember the artist, the voice, and the gentle presence that left a mark on everyone who heard him. Jonathan Joss.
Flashback.
On June 1st, 2025, the entertainment world lost a beloved voice actor in a shocking and tragic shooting in San Antonio. Jonathan Joss, best known for voicing John Redcorn on King of the Hill for nearly 13 years, was 59 years old. His death sparked national conversations about mental health, neighborhood conflict, and whether his killing was a homophobic hate crime. This is the factual story of Jonathan Joss, his career, his struggles, and the violent end that cut his life short. Jonathan Joss Gonzalez was born on December 22, 1965, in San Antonio, Texas. He was of Comanche and White Mountain Apache descent. His parents owned and operated a Mexican restaurant. Joss attended McCullum High School, graduating in 1984, and then he later went on to earn a degree in theater and speech from Our Lady of the Lake University. In 1994, he appeared on Walker, Texas Ranger, and his Hollywood career began taking shape. But his defining role came in 1997, when he became the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill. He replaced original actor Victor Aaron after Aaron's death in 1996 and continued in the role for season 13, from 1997 to 2009. Joss also portrayed Chief Ken Hatate in Parks and Recreation, appearing in 5 episodes between 2011 and 2015. He had nearly 50 TV and film credits, including major productions like True Grit in 2010, The Magnificent Seven in 2016, and The Forever Purge in 2021. Beyond acting, Joss was a musician. He performed with the Redcorn Band, a nod to his King of the Hill character, and collaborated with the Grey Wolf Blues Band on songs like Boogie Man and Still No Good. In 2011, he even launched his own line of spice rubs. Before his death, Joss had returned for the King of the Hill revival series and had already recorded lines for 4 episodes. Just hours before he was killed, he uploaded an Instagram video walking around Austin, saying he'd already recorded those lines. New King of the Hill episodes featuring Joss as John Redcorn aired on Hulu on August 4th, 2025, after his death. But Joss's final months were filled with personal tragedy. On January 23, 2025, his San Antonio home was destroyed in a fire. He told reporters he was using a propane heater and may have left it on, though he also wondered if someone had sabotaged the house. Shortly after the fire, on February 14, 2025, Joss married his husband, Tristan Kern de Gonzalez. At the 2025 ATX TV Festival in Austin, Joss was not invited to the King of the Hill cast panel. He showed up anyway, stood up during the Q&A, and told the audience his house had burned down because I'm gay. Security then escorted him out. On a King of the Hill fan podcast the day before his death, Joss admitted he was not sober, saying, "No, I've already lost everything. My house burnt down. I ain't gonna give up drugs. I ain't gonna give up drinking. They're my friends." He also revealed he had spent time in mental wards. Joss and his husband had been feuding with neighbor Sigfrido Ceja Alvarez for years. Neighbors told police they had made 74 calls to San Antonio police from January 2024 to June 2025 about Joss, including complaints about fires, thefts, 9 calls about shootings, 6 mental health checks, and 5 welfare checks. About 66 incidences were recorded. One neighbor said Joss would yell that his neighbors were going to hell because they were sinners, or that all the children on the street were going to die. He sometimes appeared outside yelling in the street. On May 24, 2024, police confiscated Joss's firearms after reports of gunfire. On June 8, 2024, Ceja Alvarez called police saying Joss was brandishing a crossbow. Despite years of complaints, residents said police had done little to resolve the ongoing feud. On June 1st, 2025, Joss and his husband were driven to their burned-down home to check the mail. About 30 minutes before his death, a neighbor recorded Joss walking up and down the street, holding a pitchfork and yelling. A vehicle pulled up, and a confrontation occurred between Joss and Ceja Alvarez. A witness heard 3 gunshots and saw Joss wounded in the neck and torso. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Ceja Alvarez was arrested shortly afterward and reportedly told police, "I shot him." Joss's husband, Tristan Kernda Gonzalez, said Ceja Alvarez yelled violent homophobic slurs before firing, including calling them jodos, a derogatory Spanish term for gay men. Gonzalez claimed Joss pushed him out of the bullet's path, saving his life. He described the attack as a homophobic hate crime. However, the San Antonio Police Department initially said there was no evidence the murder was connected to Joss's sexual orientation. A few days later, police retracted that statement, calling it premature, and confirmed the investigation into whether homophobia played a role was still ongoing. On November 17, 2025, a grand jury in Texas formally indicted Sigfrido Ceja Alvarez on murder charges, the most serious charge applicable under Texas law. Ceja Alvarez had bailed out of jail in June 2025 and was confined to house arrest awaiting trial. At the time of his death, Joss was writing a Western graphic novel titled 2 Sides to Every Coin. After his death, tributes poured in from fans and fellow actors. The King of the Hill revival honored his memory by airing the episodes he had recorded. His voice as John Redcorn remains a beloved part of the show's legacy. Jonathan Joss's life was marked by both remarkable achievement and profound personal struggle. He gave voice to one of animation's most iconic Native American characters, appeared in major Hollywood films, and was a working musician and entrepreneur. But his final year was defined by tragedy, a house fire, mental health struggles, substance use, and a deadly neighborhood feud that ended in gunfire. Whether his killing was a hate crime remains officially unconfirmed, but for his husband, his family, and many fans, the homophobic slurs and years of harassment tell a clear story. Jonathan Joss died at 59, leaving behind a legacy that continues through John Redcorn and the many roles he brought to life. Continue to rest peacefully, Jonathan Joss. If you enjoyed this video, please throw me a thumb. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.